Welcome to Road Gear Reviews. I'm Mark from RV Love, and today we're talking about the Flojet 18555 Portable Wastewater Macerator. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Road Gear Reviews. Again, this is Mark from RV Love, and today we're talking about the Flojet Portable Wastewater Pump or Macerator. Basically what this is a blender and a pump that you connect to your wastewater valves to empty your wastewater tanks. It allows you to pump your water from the wastewater tanks longer distances and even potentially uphill through what looks like a regular garden hose. We're actually using a commercial garden hose because we want it to be able to handle the much higher pressures. But basically it looks like you're just pumping it through a garden hose, and that allows you to pump it into a toilet, into a sewer connection, or into an extra holding tank if you had an extra holding tank that you're going to be able to transport to a dump station. So basically how it works, this part here is the inlet. This is regular bayonet fittings that will connect right to your 3-inch sewer hose connection from your wastewater tank. This is a freshwater flush, so it does allow you to flush your tanks, and you can back flush into a gray or black tank with this inlet. This red cap is covering the outlet of the pump, and so this is where you connect your garden hose to be able to run it down the line. There's an additional cap on the bottom, and this is allow you to, if there's any jams after leaving the macerator in storage for a bit, you can actually put a screwdriver in that and clear out any jams. Very simple to use. When it came in the box, it was a bit disassembled. You actually had to connect some of these wires. I imagine they do that so that you have flexibility in how you connect it, because you could wire this directly into your 12-volt system of your RV, or you can do like I'm going to do for this test of this system by simply taking the wire leads and connecting them to an external 12-volt battery. It also has a handle with an on and off button, so you can push it and it stays on in either mode, on or off. You don't have to hold it the whole time. That's a good function if you do have it hardwired into the 12-volt system of your RV. It comes in a carry case that is 12 inches by 13 inches by 5.5 inches. The total weight of the unit is around 6 pounds. Most of the time when you're going to be emptying the wastewater tanks in your RV, you're either going to be in a campground at a full hookup site and just dump it right at the campsite, or you're going to actually take your RV to a dump station and dump your waste tanks there. The macerator grinds it up first with basically like a blender, cuts it down to pieces that are less than 1/8 of an inch in size, and then it pumps it out through here, and it'll run through a regular garden hose. So just how far can you pump the wastewater out of your tanks? According to the materials that come with the macerator, they recommend no longer than a 25-foot length if you're using a 5/8 inch hose, and up to a 50-foot length using a 3/4 inch hose. We were actually parked even further than that from a sewer connection, so we chose to push the limits on this a bit and used a 3/4 inch 75-foot long hose, and it is also slightly uphill. So the other end of this connection with the garden hose, you can run that into a sewer connection. You can run it into an external water tank, wastewater tank, like a BlueBoy or something that allows you to transport your wastewater in the bed of a truck for a greater distance, because you can pump this slightly uphill. You don't need the gravity. A lot of the time when people use a BlueBoy or other portable wastewater tank, they use the gravity and it's down on the ground, but then it's really heavy and so it's difficult to lift. This would allow you to pump that the same height or even higher into a different tank. You can also run this straight into a toilet. We had a friend who actually used one of these macerators and the hose to run it straight into their toilet, and it worked extremely well. They did that for multiple times because they were staying on a property for months on end and needed to empty their tanks multiple times. We've actually used this a few times now, and I've been super impressed. It has really good ability to empty the tanks. It says that it can empty a 40-gallon tank in 5 minutes. And we believe that our tank is actually greater than 40 gallons, and it still did empty that in the 5 minutes it mentioned. And that's with a 75-foot hose and uphill. So I was actually really impressed because it exceeded what I had expected out of this product. The instructions mention that you should not let the pump run dry for more than 30 seconds, and you should also not let the pump run for more than 15 minutes total, because it could overheat. So I was able to empty our black tank in under 5 minutes, and then I let it rest for a minute or two, and then I followed it up with the gray tank. Now, if you are in a situation where you have an ability to hook up fresh water as well, you could then flush the tanks using the fresh water and run it again to clear out the lines really effectively. This particular situation, I haven't been able to connect the fresh line to this to be able to flush, so I'm going to have to do that flush at another time. But it's super easy to maintain. There's very little moving parts. You can disassemble it and replace parts if you're going to be using this a lot. They do recommend that you not permanently attach it to the RV. It's meant to be only attached when being used. Now, it is something you want to pay attention when you're doing this, because you don't want the pump to run dry for more than 30 seconds, and it only takes a few minutes to be able to empty the tank. So you do want to be engaged in the process of dumping this. You don't want to just pull a valve, turn it on, and walk away. You want to be involved with this because you don't want to do any damage to the pump. So what do I think of the product? We bought this because we're in a situation where we're not able to conveniently move our RV closer to a dump station, and we don't have a portable waste tank like a BlueBoy. This macerator was a perfect solution for us at this time. We've been in a number of campground settings where we needed 20 feet or more to be able to reach the sewer connection from our RV. Sometimes it's because we park the opposite direction in the site to have a better view or whatever it is. This just gives us additional flexibility that we can reach a sewer connection without moving our coach. I have been very impressed because it far exceeds what it says that it can do. When we read in the instructions that it didn't recommend more than 50-foot long hose at 3/4 inch, I was a little nervous about going 75 uphill, but it worked like a charm. It actually performed far better than I expected, emptying our large black tank that's greater than 40 gallons in less than 5 minutes. Having a different type of hose, and especially different color hose, will also help you remember to not use that hose for any of your freshwater uses, because once you've run your sewer through that hose, I really would recommend that that's all it gets used for from that point forward. At $300, this is definitely not an inexpensive solution to be able to empty your tanks, but a lot of BlueBoys that we've seen are over $200 as well. And the problem with those portable tanks is that now you have to find some place to store this enormous waste tank in your RV, whether you're storing it in an underbelly storage, or some people mount it on their ladder rack, which I'm really not a fan of. This, of course, is small enough you can easily transport it in one of the bays, and it's easy to clean up, it's easy to transport, it's easy to use for other people's RVs in other situations. All right, well, that wraps up my review of the Flojet Portable Wastewater Macerator Pump. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below. We'd love to help answer those for you. If you have any experience using this, we'd love to have your feedback on that as well. If you have any other products you'd like to see us review here on Road Getter Reviews, please be sure to leave those in the comment section below as well. Be sure to check back every week for new videos with Road Getter Reviews, and until next time, we'll see you on the road.